this is a very, very, very special day for many of us, as you can imagine. We appreciate that we are in a pandemic environment and that it can't be the event that maybe some of us had hoped for. But in front of me, there are a number of people, they're masks, and they are indeed trying to maintain a social distance. And I also wanted to welcome the folks that are online watching us on Facebook at this time. A warm welcome to you all. First, I would like to acknowledge that we are gathered today here in the Mi'kma'ki, the traditional, ancestral, unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. My name is Fern Bryden, and I'm the manager of the Hospice Palliative Care program here in the beautiful Annapolis Valley. I have the privilege of being your MC this morning for the ribbon cutting ceremony here, and at this time I would like to say a special welcome to Honorable Stephen McNeil, Premier of Nova Scotia, who has been a longtime supporter of this project. I'd also like to introduce Martha Stewart, Diana Patterson from the Valley Hospice Foundation, who I've had an opportunity to work with closely on this project for a very long time, as well as Wanda Matthews, our Executive Director for the Western Zone. Following the formal remarks, there will be an official photo of the ribbon cutting, and we will be happy to take questions following that photo. I would like now to invite Premier McNeil to the microphone for remarks on behalf of the province.
Everything takes twice as long now. Thank you very much, Fern. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. I want to recognize Minister Gluvine, who is here. Leo, I know this has been a passion of yours, not only as Minister of Health, but a neighbor, a constituency the next door, and I want to thank you for continuing to be so supportive of the hospice. I also want to acknowledge that Keith Irving, my colleague from King South, is not here. He's also a parent who went to visit his children outside of the Atlantic bubble, and like everyone else, when he comes home, he has to self-isolate for 14 days. He's in the final stages of that. So Keith, if you're listening, I just wanted to say thank you for all of the work that you're doing on behalf not only of the members of King South, but indeed here in Kings County. This is one of those interesting days. You kind of, I'm sure for many of you, it's a time to reminisce. I think about Dr. Perkins, who is not here. Robbie, I remember being in your house not too long after becoming the leader and having an opportunity to see his passion for why he believed the hospice was an important part of the end-of-life journey and option for the people of the Annapolis Valley. And I know that he may not be here, but I can tell you the reason it's probably not raining is because he has something to do with it. I also want to acknowledge Janet Knox, who's not here. Janet's the former CEO of the Health Authority. She was here in our region and then went on to lead the Provincial Health Authority. But I can tell you Janet was passionate about ensuring that this option of end-of-life care was available to the people of the Valley. And Janet, if you're listening, I just want to say thank you for all of the work that you did on behalf of the people of Nova Scotia. I want to say to the Hospice Foundation, the current members and former members, you are a real case study in patience. This has been a long journey for you. I know we're not the first government you started with, but this has been a long journey for you. On behalf of as a citizen of the Valley, as a son of the Annapolis Valley, as a citizen who would at some point potentially use this facility, I want to thank you for not losing hope or faith and continuing to put your genuine care about the citizens of this region always at the forefront, even when you were frustrated, even when it seemed like this would be such a daunting task. The people who are listening at home, I want them to know that this building behind us, the funds that were available to build this were all raised by the foundation, current members and former members, to ensure that this facility would be here. We as a government will operate it into the future, but the bricks and mortar, what happens inside of this, the facility, all of the things in this were raised by people of your community because they care and love about you and your family and wanting to ensure that you had this end-of-life option. So to all of the current and former board members of the foundation, let me just say thank you from the bottom of my heart. All of us have experienced loss in our lives. To now know, those of us who live in the valley, to now know this is an option. When we will begin to experience that in the future date in our families, to be here, thank you for always, always staying focused on what you wanted, which was the end result, a caring, compassionate environment, quite frankly, here for the people of the Annapolis Valley. And in the back row, I want to say thank you, because the bricks and mortar are one piece of this. You will be the heart and soul of it. You will be the face that will touch our families' hearts. Not only will you help give our loved one the proper journey away, but at the same time, you will be helping those left behind to begin the process of healing. And I know this is not a job, it's a vocation, it's a passion. And I know that you will provide that kindness and love to our family members that you would provide to your own family members. You will make this hospice what we know it all can be. And I just want to thank you for making this part of your career, to come here and provide comfort and love to the citizens of the Annapolis Valley. So on behalf of all of us, let me say thank you. Before I finish, again, I just want to say this is a remarkable site. I want to tell you, I actually thought it was going to be over by the hospital. What a beautiful setting! What a beautiful setting to be in when you're holding the hand of your loved one in their final days. To be able to come out for a bit of breath air in this beautiful surrounding natural environment. Those of you who chose this site, thank you for thinking of the holistic view of the family. Because really, this is really, I can tell you, outside of this building is about the living. And it's about those of us who will be left behind. So thank you for making us part of that decision as you go forward. And as part of COVID, I'm going to get a chance to introduce to you Martha Stewart and Diane Patterson, both with the Valley Hospice Foundation. I know they wouldn't mind for me saying this. I know they've been tremendous champions, continuing to be tremendous champions, but I know that they would feel that they are standing here at the microphone on the shoulders of all those who began this journey how many years ago. So thank you both for what you've been doing and continuing to make sure that this dream became a reality. Ladies,
Thanks very much. Whew. Premier McNeil, honored guests, hospice board members, and friends of the foundation. It's been a very long journey, but we are here. Representatives of our team, our communities of Kings and Annapolis counties, the government of Nova Scotia, and the Nova Scotia Health Authority, along with members of the entire Annapolis Valley, are here today either virtually or in person. This is a much smaller celebration, as we've said, the previous people have said, but we have to stay safe in this time of COVID. It's a priority. So to all here and to those on the Valley Hospice Facebook page, welcome to this very, very good morning. We know you're here with us, just as you have been over the past 20 plus years, I guess. Thank you all for your loyalty and for being a part of our extraordinary team. All Valley residents, all of us, should be proud. Proud of raising funds during a recession, Henry. Proud of never giving up on the idea of creating a specially designed environment for patients and their loved ones to feel the peace and grace of living fully during this end of journey. Everyone involved, from need to idea through completion, must carry an enormous sense of satisfaction and pride. Huge effort and success by a team are always accompanied by honor. As a foundation, it was our honor for the last 20 years or so to advocate for the needs of the community and for their dream of a single standing hospice. It's maybe a little different than what often imagined, but here it is. And today, we're officially opening it. It's also been the Foundation's honor to be a part of this dream. Giving up was never an option for members of the Foundation, nor for members of the community, even when the possibilities seemed unreachable. Many people near and far have also honored us with their encouragement, actions, generosity, and spirit. Dr. Balfour Mount, pioneer of palliative care in Canada, helped us to turn an important corner on our road to success. So it was our distinct pleasure this past spring to appoint Dr. Mount as our Foundation's honorary patron. It was my honor to serve as chair of the Foundation this past decade or more, to be able to highlight our team, our pride, and our honor speaks a great deal about those involved over the years, especially as we gather here today to mark our success and to celebrate opening of this new page in history of the Hospice Project. Thank you all very much. Please allow me now to introduce to you Martha Stewart, the chair of the Valley Hospice Foundation, our leader as we move into the future.
Good morning, everyone. Our hospice came to fruition because of 20 years of determination, commitment, and patience by our foundation and our community. There are too many people to name here today who have been instrumental in bringing this project to completion. However, we will always remember and acknowledge their involvement. And this includes our past chair, Diana Patterson. Diana has been a champion for this hospice for over 14 years. I'd like to share a quote about Diana's journey with our hospice. Through 14 years, there were setbacks, obstacles, challenges, and burdens. There were too many hurdles for most, and yet Diana never wavered. She could imagine herself in the hospice. She just knew that we were going to arrive. Diana's positive spirit allowed everyone around her to trust her and believe. Please join me in thanking Diana. We feel fortunate to be working side by side with the Nova Scotia Health Authority in shaping what our hospice will be. Our involvement on the Integrated Hospice Palliative Care Advisory Committee will ensure that we have opportunities to establish priorities, share ideas, and meet the needs of our community so that our hospice will become a center of excellence. The focus of our foundation for the past several years has been around raising funds for this beautiful building. We are delighted to be standing here today to celebrate that achievement. More recently, our foundation is focusing on a strategic plan that will guide our work over the next several years. This has involved gathering and analyzing feedback from key stakeholders within our community, including the Nova Scotia Health Authority staff, commercial and individual donors, municipal representatives, media, the Hospital Foundation, our Hospice Foundation, community partners, the palliative care team, and clinicians. From all this information, we identified priorities and actions that will focus on advocacy, funding, and governance of our board. While the Nova Scotia Health Authority will be funding the operational costs, our foundation will turn its sights on providing supports within our hospice that will enhance the final days for patients and their families. We've created a care and comfort fund that will provide services and items to facilitate a positive end-of-life experience. We know that there will be people of many ages within our hospice, and we need to be able to provide them with experiences that will remind them of the happy times in their lives. And our foundation will not forget the importance of palliative care within our community, because we know that 10 beds will not be enough to fulfill the needs of everyone who needs support. Together with the Nova Scotia Health Authority and our tremendous hospice staff, we will create an opportunity where people can live their final days with dignity, support, and compassion. And while we cannot change the outcome for people, we can affect the journey. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Wanda Matthews, and I'm the Executive Director of Operations for Nova Scotia Health. Keep my mask clean. And want to thank Premier McNeil, Martha, and Diana for being here to share this moment today. I'm delighted to bring greetings today on behalf of Nova Scotia Health's leadership, staff, physician, volunteers, and learners. Close to 2 years ago, I was part of a much larger crowd here gathered to recognize the start of construction on this beautiful building. In our current environment, as people have already said, we have a smaller crowd here that has the privilege of celebrating this official opening of the Valley Hospice, along with those who we hope are watching online. While the impact of COVID has been felt by everyone, I do want to extend thanks to the planning team and the construction team who ensured this project was ready to welcome patients and families this month. For some, there may have been doubts this project would come to be, but thanks to the unwavering commitment and determination of many people in the community, especially the Valley Hospice Foundation, it has become a reality. The amount of money raised locally to support construction is truly remarkable. This facility will make hospice a compassionate option for people in this part of the province, adding a significant resource to address needs within our community and building on an already strong network of support for those needing end-of-life care. Community support for the Valley Hospice Foundation and this project has been overwhelming, and you've heard that from many of the previous speakers. We know that other communities across this province are looking to you for inspiration as they work to embark on similar partnerships with the province and Nova Scotia Health to bring a broader range of end-of-life care to serve their friends and neighbors. Since launching a joint campaign, Our Community, Our Health, in 2009, the Hospice Foundation and the Valley Regional Hospital Foundation have raised more than $8 million to build this hospice and fund capital projects at Valley Regional Hospital. Today's official opening is another step, an important step, in Nova Scotia Health's vision of supporting all Nova Scotians to have access to integrated, culturally competent, quality palliative care in a setting of their choice. In the words of our palliative care strategy, the way we live matters, so does the way we die. This facility will allow more people in the community to die in their preferred setting. We are proud to have worked with the Valley Hospice Foundation and our other partners to make this Nova Scotia health-owned and operated facility a reality. We look forward to welcoming our first patients at the end of September and to providing quality care in this purpose-built, beautiful, welcoming environment for many years to come. And I do want to thank you again for being here to celebrate with us on this momentous occasion. Thank you very much.
So I just want to say thank you to everyone for the kind words that you've offered, and I think that we have expressed how important this community has been in raising the funds and supporting this hospice. Perhaps you could hear me better. There are two people that I would like to single out, and one of them is no longer here with us, and Honorable Glavine and I were talking earlier, but I really have to mention Canon Sid Davies, who for many, many years promoted the hospice when people didn't even know what a hospice was. Every political event he could find, every ear that he could find to listen to him with respect to the need for this hospice in the Valley. He took that opportunity, and I think people were saying even on his 100th birthday, the funds, he actually asked for funds to help with the hospice. He really hoped he could hang on, but he didn't. But I know he's here today, or we would still be having rain showers, I'm sure. And the other person that I want to mention is a very dear friend, and I've worked with her for well over 25 years on this project, and that's Brenda Wallace-Allen. Brenda, I have to mention you. There were a couple of people in this community that had this idea and ran with it and wouldn't let go of it. So Brenda is definitely one of those people. So I give her credit wherever I can. She just kind of kept that ball rolling and wouldn't let it die. So really, really appreciate that. So again, I just want to say this is a beautiful building. It was designed